dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good morning, I'm Connor James. Today is Sunday, July 7th, and the time is just about 8 o'clock. Officials say there was an ATV accident in Perry County early this morning. They say it happened around 3 a.m. on Loudy Low Gap Road near the top of the mountain. Now, no roads were closed due to the accident, but officials say there were injuries. Officials tell us the ATV went off the road, but they do not know why at this time. A helicopter was called, but the call was declined due to the weather. We will continue to update you on this story as we learn more information. A constable for nearly 30 years, a veteran, and a coach. Those are just a few of the titles Roger Hunky Hall from Letcher County held. Hall died on Wednesday at the age of 71. WYMT's Katie Cook talked with some that knew him very well to find out why he will be greatly missed.
It's difficult to describe someone without knowing them personally, but just by talking with a few people who knew him.
So I was very close to him and very honored that he would let me call him friend, and honored even more when he would call me friend.
Roger, or Hunky Hall's passion for helping others was something special.
He always left the situation better than when he found it.
A Vietnam-era veteran and a man who wore many hats in Jenkins.
I think, though, the thing that he most was proud of was the fact that he was also a coach for baseball and football.
Touching the lives of many students.
The kids loved him all the way up through adulthood, so, I mean, it's everybody really loved Hunky.
He was a deputy sheriff, firefighter, corrections officer, and sat on the board of many organizations.
He accomplished a ton of stuff. A lot of stuff he wouldn't brag on himself, so you have to ask others about it.
It seems that one thing made Hunky different from the rest.
Hunky had a good sense of humor. He was definitely a hard worker, but he loved to have fun and have a good time.
Yet just another way he impacted those around him.
He was the type of guy, though, that you would, you know, even in a bad situation, you know, if Hunky showed up on the scene, he could lighten the mood.
So, with heavy hearts,
wouldn't it be a nice place if everybody could serve others the way Hunky does and the way he taught his sons to?
People in Letcher County are having to say goodbye. In Letcher County, Katie Cook, WYMT Mountain News.
A public memorial service for Roger Hunky Hall is going to be held today. We have those details on our website, WYMT.com. Well, a full century, then add on 10 years. That's how long Mary Brown has been around. After celebrating her 110th birthday on the 4th of July, her friends and family gathered yesterday to honor yet another year of life. For the past 11 years, her loved ones have came to celebrate her special day and say many people tend to ask her what the secret is to living a long, healthy life.
Try to treat myself right. Treat everybody else right. And do the best I can by people, my friends, my neighbors, the whole. So I guess that's it.
Brown says she is ready to take on this year and is excited to see what's in store. A man was flown to the hospital after a shooting in Boyd County. Dispatchers say they got the call around 3 Saturday morning. The shooting happened at Court of Three Sisters Trailer Park. The sheriff tells us there was a fight that escalated and the victim was hit in the upper body. We are told the victim is in critical condition. We're going to continue to update this story on our website, WYMT.com. Well, a crash closed a portion of US 23 in Letcher County yesterday and left several people injured. Now, dispatchers say it happened just after 2 near the 119 junction in the Payne Gap area. Now, dispatchers did not say exactly how many people were hurt, but said it was several. We do not know the extent of their injuries or what caused them at this time. And emergency crews are responding to a transformer fire at the Riverside Generating Plant in Louisa. It caught fire on Saturday afternoon. Now, officials say US 23 was shut down for some time while crews worked to put out the fire. Several fire departments responded. This is another story we're hoping to get more information on throughout the day. And Friday afternoon, a Rockcastle County home was destroyed by a fire. Mount Vernon firefighters say they spent nearly 5 hours battling the fire on Marlar Hollow Road, but they could not save the home. Now, no one was hurt. Firefighters did not say what caused the fire. Now let's check in with meteorologist Kelly McShane for a look at your forecast this morning. And Kelly, good morning to you.
Good morning, Connor, and good morning to all of you tuning in this Sunday morning. We're starting off pretty calm out there. You can see right outside of our studios a little bit of cloud cover. That's because we had a little bit of fog here and throughout eastern Kentucky. Let's go ahead and check on that for you. It looks like that fog just now getting out of Perry County, but Pike County as well as Middlesboro and Williamsburg, you guys are dealing with that patchy dense fog, so be careful still within the next few hours on the roadways. Satellite and radar though not showing too much, just a lone shower just north of London, but otherwise everyone else is pretty dry this morning. And those temperatures, almost everyone is in the 70s, Middlesboro at 69, but everyone else in those lower 70s to start off the day. And if you're heading out on the road, just be mindful of that patchy fog for the next few hours, but otherwise we're going to see sun and clouds, maybe an isolated shower or two. Then for your afternoon, we're going to see a little bit of sunshine and those storm chances going to return. I'll break down those chances in my full forecast in just a little bit, Connor.
All right, thank you, Kelly. Well, teams with the Kentucky Energy and Environmental Cabinet were back on the Kentucky River yesterday. They're monitoring the effects of the Jim Beam fire that happened earlier this week. Now, this is video of the river yesterday. Officials are seeing more dead and dying fish on the water. They say the alcohol plume now stretches 23 miles. It's expected that it will reach the Ohio River on Monday. Teams collected river samples Saturday. They're also aerating the Kentucky River to hopefully help improve the dissolved oxygen levels. Well, a rescuer needed rescuing in the Red River Gorge. The Wolfe County Search and Rescue Team was called out to the valley between Chimney Top and Half Moon Arch for a lost hiker on Thursday. A team had to rappel down to help, but the team says one person, John May, went down too fast and hit the ground harder than expected.
It wasn't a free fall. It was a relatively slowed descent, but it was obviously faster than a controlled rappel.
May was released from the hospital Friday. His teammates say he was in high spirits and talking during the rescue. They say they're prepared for any rescue, even if it's one of their own. And people in California dealing with the aftermath of a 7.1 magnitude earthquake. It hit Friday night, a day after another earthquake, both centered near Ridgecrest, California. Camila Bernal has the latest.
Going for quite a bit, everybody.
Panic as a second major earthquake hit California Friday night.
8:21 here on the air. We're experiencing very strong shaking. Wow. I think we need to get under the desk.
The latest one 11 times stronger than the first. Authorities say it triggered gas leaks and structure fires throughout Ridgecrest. Rock slides shutting down State Route 178 through the Kern River Canyon.
The damage that we are seeing this morning in the light is not as extensive as one could have expected. Now, keep that in mind that we are going to be continuing to do extensive damage assessments.
Officials say there are no fatalities or major injuries. Crews are moving quickly to get things back up and running. Power has been restored to most customers, and many major stores are open. Now damage assessment teams and structural engineers are on the ground.
That's really to go in and start looking at a little bit more granular review of the damage that has occurred. That helps us to build what are we looking at like in total losses.
The governor has requested a presidential emergency declaration for assistance. Meanwhile, California residents are warned to be ready for another event.
It's just imperative that you are prepared no matter where you are. This 4th of July weekend, I'm sure we didn't expect this. And so make sure that you equip not only your homes, but your vehicles as well.
In Ridgecrest, California, I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
Officials say all roads are back open. Red Cross shelters will stay open as long as needed in the area. Well, police and emergency crews are trying to find out what caused a massive blast that injured at least 20 and destroyed a shopping center in Plantation, Florida, Saturday morning. Half of the strip mall has been flattened and the gym across the street is heavily damaged. The Plantation Fire Department called it a gas explosion. Dozens of firefighters responded and could be seen picking through the rubble with dogs sniffing through debris. And a police pursuit involving a fire truck. Authorities in Northern California say a man stole a fire truck from the Oakland Fire Department and took it on a joyride. Officers followed the fire truck on the freeway and into Vacaville. That's where police were able to disable the truck and arrest the man. No one was hurt. No word on what charges the driver faces. And thousands of motorcyclists rumbled across New Hampshire roadways yesterday to honor 7 bikers killed in a collision with a pickup truck last month. Organizers of the Ride for the Fallen 7 said the event started out as a way for some motorcyclists to remember the bikers with a ride to the crash site in Randolph. A memorial service was held at the motel where the bikers had stayed. Coming up on Mountain News this morning, painters in Wisconsin were practicing their craft and showing off their skill on the final day of Riverfest yesterday. And later in sports, we were just hours away from the 2019 Women's World Cup Championship game where the U.S. attempts to go back and win their 4th World Cup.
Today we are going to ramp up the rain chances as we head into the afternoon. I'll break down the forecast coming up next.